Hey guys, Bodybuilding Gamer here. Finally back after a few months of not making any reviews, and I thought this would be a perfect time to do a review since we just got Beetlejuice back in theaters. It's been like 30, I don't know, 34 years, 35 years since the original came out, which is crazy. To get a sequel after such a long time is nuts, but I was very excited about it. You guys know my love for everything 80s, 90s, so this is perfect. This movie is, I think it seems like a direct sequel to the first one. Actually, let's talk about the first one for just a few minutes. I'll do a review on that one day. Beetlejuice is like such a weird film to describe, but long story short, it's basically about a couple that dies, and they need help kind of managing the afterlife and the rules and stuff like that. And then they're all happy, kind of being ghosts in their own home. And then when some people move in, they don't know how to get them out. And then they seek out Beetlejuice, who's like a bio-exorcist, but he's dead and he's hundreds of years old. But he doesn't work well with others, as the couple are told. This couple here, Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis. And I don't want to say too much about it because I'm reviewing the second one. But it's such a weird movie because it's clearly out of the mind of Tim Burton, the director. Also directed Batman Returns, Nightmare Before Christmas, and tons of other really unique, interesting movies. He's got a really cool visual style. Very weird stuff comes out of his mind in terms of the worlds and the characters. And then you got to give a lot of credit to Michael Keaton for that character. I did a lot of, for all movies, I always read a lot of trivia and stuff like that. And Michael Keaton was very much responsible for a lot of the different dialogue and mannerisms and looks of the Beetlejuice character. So basically it's both of them, Tim Burton and Michael Keaton. So I'm sure if you're watching this review, you probably saw the first Beetlejuice. You don't really need me to get into it that much. So let me just talk about the second one. My thoughts on it. Let's do it. Let's do a bit different this review. I'll do the good and the bad. The good is, I mean, after 35 years, you got to kind of go in with slightly lower expectations. I didn't want to be disappointed. I just wanted to see that world brought back of the afterlife, how it looks, and the biggest thing was Michael Keaton. You want to see Michael Keaton do Beetlejuice and see if he can replicate the performance and the character that he did 35 years ago. And I'm happy to say that for the most part, I would say 80 to 90% of the time, his jokes hit, his delivery hits. He's really funny, and his dialogue is written pretty well for his character. And every scene that he's in is pretty much gold. Other pros are, so pros, number one, Michael Keaton. Number two, Tim Burton's the world that you see here, that he actually, this movie expands on it quite a bit. You get the first movie, you mostly in the real world, and you get a little bit of the afterlife. In the new one, you're in the afterlife quite a bit, so you get to see all kinds of cool and interesting stuff. You get to see characters from this one that are they're in it, they've returned, and their roles are expanded. Other pros are, it's like one of my biggest gripes, disappointments with a lot of newer movies is because they're filmed digitally, it loses this organic look. Like, it doesn't look the same. It looks, I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's it's not really too crisp. It's just, it doesn't have the look of film, something done on film. And the new one, while also it doesn't capture that film, that really like natural look of film, he did make it very similar in feeling, as if this is like a kind of a smaller movie. I don't know if that's the right word, but he nails the vibe. So Michael Keaton is great. Tim Burton's ideas, the set design, the production design, uh, a lot of the stuff was done with practical effects. So there is CGI, which you'll notice, but it's very minimal. So overall, uh, great on everything like that. So the story, the story is this is where it's kind of a bit twofold, but mostly good. It's slightly convoluted, but at the same time, there's a lot more going on in this movie than in the first one. In the first one, it's just basic. It's just it's kind of two things. You've got the husband and the wife, and then you have Lydia, which is uh, the little girl that moves in to their. She's part of the family that moves into these guys' house. And in this one, it's like these two characters don't return, sadly. Gina Davis and Alec Baldwin, but Tim Burton had said that he didn't want to make it about them anymore. He wanted to make it about Lydia and her daughter. So yeah, the story, there's so much stuff going on. It's like you got her with her daughter, you've got Beetlejuice and his, I guess, ex-wife who's trying to kill him from in the afterworld. You've got the daughter of Lydia, who basically meets a guy, and I don't want to spoil it for you. So she meets a guy, and they got their whole all thing going on. Yeah, and then you got a wedding, and there's just so many different things going on. So I liked it. I like to feel like when I'm watching a scene, there's 3, 4 other things happening at the same time that I can think about in the back, in the background, and then you kind of switch back and forth between them. Some people might be turned off by that and call it convoluted. I liked it. So yeah, I mean, overall, it's good. I think they did an amazing job. I didn't. It's better than I expected because, to be honest with you, when I watched the trailer originally, um, it was weird. Everything looked good, but the scenes that they showed of Michael Keaton as Beetlejuice, they didn't. I was worried that he wasn't gonna have. He lost his edge on the character. But I'm happy to say that 90% of his scenes are awesome. The jokes hit. He has the charisma. He has the mannerisms, the body language, the movements. His dialogue is good. It's great. It's great. So it's a wonderful film to look at. The world that's created. There's much more of it. And yeah, like everything's great. It's a good movie. I think kids can watch it. There's a few, I think maybe 1 or 2, like very low-key, dirty jokes for parents to pick up on, but kids wouldn't pick it up. I mean, the first one here, there's actual swearing. Like Michael Keaton drops an F-bomb, but I didn't mind it when I was a kid, and I don't think other kids minded. I mean, they made a cartoon based on this. So yeah, mostly good. I guess the only thing that I would think would have made it cooler is if there was a cameo of these two characters from the first film. And I thought that some of the scenes between Lydia's daughter and the guy that she meets, the build up to that whole storyline kind of slowed the movie down a little bit. It kind of hurt the pacing. But that's about it. It's a good movie. Even if you compare it to the first one, I think a lot of people might like the second one more than this one. It's a tough one. I still think Michael Keaton still has an edge in the original, and he's actually in the original less. They said that they tried to keep his time minimum in the new one, but he's in it quite a bit more, in my opinion, than this one. Overall, awesome movie. Tim Burton was great in it. It's so nice to see him back. Michael Keaton killed it. Winona Ryder she was very surprising. She was really, really surprising. I thought she was amazing. She's never been one of my favorite actresses, but she really did a great job in this movie. I thought she was just really stand out. And same with, I think, can't remember her name, Catherine. The actress that plays Lydia's mother, she's back as well. So those are the returning characters: Michael Keaton, Winona Ryder, and the actress that plays the mother. She's awesome. She has so many funny jokes. There's another actor who's really good in it, who plays the potential husband. He's trying to marry Winona Ryder's character. He's hilarious. They're trying to set up a wedding and stuff. That's hilarious. And there's also a really great, not necessarily a cameo from the movie, but an actor cameo from movies that Tim Burton movies, right at the beginning. And I'm not gonna spoil it for you. You should watch it yourself. It's really, really funny, really awesome. So yeah, overall, it's a great movie. I would take kids to see it for Halloween. Transformers 1 just came out, so that'll be competing with it. But I'm all transformed out with all the Transformers movies. So I really think a lot of families, people my age that have kids, are probably going to take their kids to see Beetlejuice if they haven't already, especially as Halloween gets closer. And yeah, I'm just trying to think of what else I could say about it. I kind of hope they make another one, a third one. They should make it a trilogy, because this one's doing really well. There are other YouTube reviewers much bigger than me. I'm not going to name them, but most of them, from what I've read or what I heard and watched, were disappointed with the movie. I mean, come on, like, obviously there are some inconsistencies, some plot holes, different things you can complain about. But you gotta go into the movie thinking, like, this is a sequel to a 35-year-old movie, and like I said, if I judge it purely on its own merits, not considering nostalgia, not considering what I just mentioned about 35 years, I still enjoyed the movie. I think it's a good movie, and I think, but I will say that if anybody who's already a Beetlejuice fan, who knows Beetlejuice, who grew up on it, who watched it when they were a kid, they're going to enjoy it more than somebody who's never seen this world before, who's never seen this character before. I think that's the way it is. But yeah, that's my review for Beetlejuice. Please subscribe, like, share, and comment. I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. I'd love to hear, my channel's still really new. I don't have that many subscribers. But I'm always happy when there's, when somebody would like to discuss it, or tell me something about it that I don't know. I love that kind of stuff. But yeah, I'll be reviewing Alien Romulus next. I actually went to the movie theaters quite a bit this month and saw a bunch of movies. So I'll be reviewing Alien Romulus, and I'll be reviewing another movie, probably a very unknown movie, but it's really, really cool, called What You Wish For, with Nick Stahl. So look forward to those two, and they should be out in a couple days, around the time that I release this video as well. So yeah, Bodybuilding Gamer, stay pumped,